Stinishedit is recorded on the unceded lands of the Wurundjeri Woiwurrung people. We pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging, and to any First Nations people listening.
We acknowledge the long history of storytelling undertaken on this land.
Hey everyone, Rubin popping in here at the start of the pod to tell you about an upcoming show that I'm excited about. It's called As Things Go, and it's conceived by friend of the pod, Jackie Mader. I'm in it, along with a bunch of other independent emerging artists, and it's a improvised contemporary dance show that's on March 8th and 9th in our very own Brunswick.
Hi, it's Jett popping in as well. Just letting you know that because of stupid friendship obligations and by how close the show is to my home, I will also be there. So if you want to buy tickets to this amazing show and come and see me sitting there in the audience, check out the link in the description to buy them now. Now enjoy the show. Welcome back to Stinishedit, the podcast where we review the things that we've started, the things that we've finished, and also we have a little bit of a chat about what we're looking forward to. My name's Jett, and this is, gonna be honest, the second time we have recorded this episode. Were we disheartened about it the first time after we lost everything? Yes. Are we excited? And have we completely wiped our memories of all of that disheartedness and getting pumped to re-record and say all the same things again, but maybe in a new fun way?
No.
Who are you?
I'm Reuben. Hello everyone.
How are you doing today, Rubin?
I'm good. I danced all day and then I went to the Sydney Road street party, accidentally on the way back from the train station.
What party? What was the street party about?
Street party looked like this.
Oh.
It's an audio medium, so that helps no one but you. But that
Okay.
is Sydney Road with no cars and trams on it, just people and stalls.
Oh.
And that's fun.
Was the party celebrating anything in particular?
I don't think so.
No?
I think we were just like, oh man, they had all these cool events down the road, like midsummer. We got to do something. No, I think it's every year.
They couldn't pick a fun theme? Like gay?
Well, I mean, it's Brunswick, so the fun theme was gay.
The fun thing's always gay.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, brilliant, nice. And
It
that's, did you find that out in a fun way or in
I knew that it was happening on
tram.
some Sunday.
Yeah.
But I had forgotten and didn't know it was this one. And so I got off one stop early from the train to walk with a friend and friend of the pod, Jackie Mader. Show opens on Friday, by the way. And
Everyone knows that.
no one knows that.
It's in the intro bit.
Oh, that's a good point. And so we just bumped it. We literally went to walk up Sydney Road and we went, oh my, golly.
Golly.
And oh my. We were both so tired and so hungry, so we walked around in a daze. It was great.
Great. I'm sad I missed that. That feels like
Yeah.
a real cultural
It was
moment
a fun vibe.
for the Brunswickers. Do we have a name?
The Brunswickers?
Yeah, like for people
Yeah.
from Brunswick.
Now we're all like Northside hipsters or something.
Yeah, I met a lot of Northside hipsters over the weekend.
In the North Side?
Well, so far north that it is Castlemaine.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Well,
yeah.
yeah. Actually, not that far.
Northcote, people call that.
Yeah, okay, but it was South Northcote because it was it was in like Hepburn Springs vibe. I was at a house party there, a housewarming, and met an insane amount of people who live, get this, right near us.
Oh.
Like couple of blocks up, couple of blocks down,
Wow.
all around the place. So our map of Brunswick, for those of you who don't know, Rubin and I have this brilliant old-timey map of Brunswick where we put little pins and strings and tags of all of the people that we know who have either
Sounds like a murder conspiracy board.
well,
It's nice. It doesn't have red. It has nice pink string and green string.
when I was finding the string, I specifically avoided the red just because I knew that would probably
You put
look
red
bad.
on a pin board, it has a meaning, you know?
Yeah. No, yeah. The red is for like if you were a murderer. I feel like black is for like if you were finding out if someone's a murderer.
I feel like it's the opposite.
Oh. You use black if you're a murderer.
More that you use red if you're tracking down a murderer.
Okay. Well, then it would be fine because it would just look like
Oh,
we're
you're
great
right.
detectives. And with the amount of string on that board.
So much string.
Because we know so many people.
So many. Everyone.
And I love that everyone's in Brunswick.
Me too.
All us Brunswickers.
Yeah.
It's not a good name.
No. Northside hipsters.
Yeah, but that's too long. And I want Brunswick specific.
NSH?
NSH.
Nash.
Northside-
You know what's
oh.
on Nash Street?
What's on Nash Street?
Nash Street in Brunswick is the home that belonged to Sam Neill in the movie Death in Brunswick.
But not Sam Neill's real life
But
home.
not real
We're
life
not
Sam
doxing
Neill.
Sam Neill.
No, we wouldn't know how to.
What do you mean we wouldn't know how to?
Okay, look, if you were Sam Neill and you wanted to keep your house hidden, would you not live on Nash Street?
No.
No one would ever expect to look for you there.
But also no one would expect to look for you on most any street.
Yeah, that's a good point. Just live on most any street.
Yeah,
Just
and then you're
pick
fine.
one. Yeah.
Would you? And people will be looking for that. We literally watched a YouTube video of a person going around all the
but
locations
that's
in
got to be
Brunswick.
a minority of us.
Yeah, but also we were talking about how we want to do that and go to Nash Street and see the house.
That's a good point.
And then if we saw Sam Neill there, you think I wouldn't dox him instantly?
Brunswickites. Is that anything?
Brunswickites. Nah, it sounds like an icicle.
Wickers.
Wickers. Oh, I don't know. It sounds almost like old-timey derogatory.
Does a bit, doesn't it?
I think because it sounds like witches.
Sure, yeah.
Wickers. Wickers isn't bad.
We'll workshop it.
Brunny. What?
Yeah, I was thinking Brunny.
Brunny.
Sounds like horse. Sounds like Brumbies.
People
The
talk.
bakery or the horses.
Yeah, people talk about Brunswick and call it Brunny.
Yeah,
the
not a
place.
fan.
Not a fan of Brunny?
Not yet.
I like Wickers. Wickers is...
We're here in the Wick.
No.
We're here in the big Wick house.
No.
House of Wick Unite.
No.
Yeah, you're right.
No, we're not doing that. Never mind. I retract my statement.
That's okay. You're entitled to do that.
How are we doing the podcast these days?
What?
It's been so long since we recorded this episode.
Oh, yeah. Well, it has to start with the section, hey, you got a drink this week?
You got me.
Oh.
Yeah, I do have a drink this week.
Gov, you got me.
I actually have the same drink that I had in last episode,
But
it's slightly different.
Yeah.
Last week I had, as many of you folk will remember, a little fat lamb brewed alcoholic ginger. This week I have, would you like to read it out with the appropriate enunciation?
I would love to.
You didn't
It's
have
very
to
dark in
take
this
the
podcast
drink
closet.
from me.
What? I can't read it. It's look at the lighting in here. There's none.
We have gone for mood light. Okay. Okay. Should we do a little report on the wardrobe?
Podcast closet update.
Yeah. Thank you. Because it's so late, this is we're recording this for the second time. We were like, okay, let's spice things up. It's our try everything era. What
Sure is.
if we made it real vibey? So we have the fairy lights going and nothing else.
We vibing and thriving.
We're simply sitting here. We got the glow of the laptop. We've got the glow of Goose's glowing orange eyes, and we have the glow of the fairy lights. And
That's right.
people will not say anything about me if not on saying that my love of glow is good.
I'm going to read this now about that. Little Fat Lamb Brewed Alcoholic Tropical.
Yeah, it's a tropical one.
Yeah.
So last time I had ginger. This one's tropical.
What does it taste like?
What's it taste like? Well, I'll have to open it up to let you know.
I was just holding an empty can.
No, I have a second can here.
Are you pulling off behind the scenes magic?
Yes. Okay, ready?
Oh, you're holding that between your knees. I was very nervous.
Kind of squirted all over me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. The can is slightly crushed, but I will tell you what it tastes like.
Okay, they've just picked up the empty can and taken another sip of it.
It's not empty.
We're just doing this open hand now. We're playing this podcast open hand.
Okay. It tastes like tropical. Like if you had a
Tropical's not a flavor.
No, but if you had an icy pole and it was tropical flavor,
Okay.
it tastes like that.
Sure, that makes sense.
The vagueness.
So like nothing.
No, like
Just like a bit of everything. Like
like a-
one of mango, one of pineapple, one of, I don't know, you've just tasted it.
Okay,
Is there
let me-
another
let me-
flavor in there?
well, I can see what's in there.
No, well,
Do you reckon they
yeah.
put?
It smells like fake pineapple.
Did I tell you this last week? This says it's brewed wine.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, it says brewed in all caps, so
Yeah, but is it wine?
I don't know. It's
this-
tropical.
it's-
The drink is just tropical.
What is a little fat lamb? Not
sure.
the thing. It's obviously I know what I can picture a little fat lamb, but what is the actual drink? Is it
know.
wine? I don't know. I've been drinking sparkling red wine lately.
Oh.
You have a look of disgust on your face.
Not disgust.
No. Shut the fuck up. I will tell you, it is great. Before your apprehensions take root,
Okay,
you start
all right.
spreading.
Yeah, you get in there early. You counter this disinformation.
Because not only am I countering you, I'm countering everyone that you're going
That's
to be
right. You got to
influencing.
protect all those listeners and tell them about the true value of sparkling red wine.
It's very good, and I am not a fan. I was a fan of red. Then I was like, fuck red, it's too dry. I'm going to have white. No, white is too...
This liquid is too dry.
Okay, says the person who doesn't drink wine.
Yeah, precisely. Sounds like batshit crazy to me.
And then I went off white and I was like, ooh, rosé is my thing. And then I threw up.
Rosé, the alcoholic's atheism. No, I fucked it up. I meant to say agnosticism.
Anyways, that agnosticism resulted in me throwing up in my friend's every sink. Every sink in their house,
Everyone.
I threw up in.
At the same night?
Yes.
Okay.
I got very drunk off a whole bottle of rosé and I threw up in their kitchen sink, in their bathroom sink, in their second bathroom sink, in their laundry sink.
Oh. Did you make it to a sink every time?
Yeah.
Well done.
Because, like, where else are you going to go? I'm not going to throw up on the floor.
Not if you can avoid it.
I guess the toilet is probably... Because then it gets flushed away and that's easy.
Bowing to the ceramic gods.
However, I like to leave little presents when I'm drunk.
Oh, God.
Just little vomits. And you know, not in an obtrusive way.
Okay, sure.
Well, so,
Not
like,
somewhere that everyone uses, like the kitchen sink.
yeah. And, it, you know how vom can be chunky, so it's actually...
Oh.
Have you ever cleaned up vomit?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, not for many, many years, thankfully.
When was the last time? Story time. When's the last time you cleaned up
not
vomit?
like I have a specific memory of it. I just
You don't have a
Maybe
memory
I
of cleaning up
haven't.
vomit?
I know that I've vomited and I've looked at it and I've gone,
Yeah, but did you clean it up?
maybe not.
Oh. You have someone to clean it up for you.
Well,
you have a vom
we're talking
guy.
like 15 years.
For 15 years, you've had a vom guy
Yeah.
who just follows you around.
Yeah, it's really expensive.
It would be insanely expensive. Also,
Yeah.
as someone who doesn't drink often.
I know. It seems like unnecessary insurance.
Yeah, I was about to say, that sounds like insurance.
Yeah. It's the only form of insurance I subscribe to.
I'm not planning on getting in a car crash. Why would I get car insurance? I don't even have a car right now. So yeah,
Right. I'm not planning on throwing up, but I got to have a Vomguard.
because what if
It
someone...
sounds like a physical device
Yeah.
that you put like over your face.
like a face guard thing.
Yeah.
But
Like a reverse mask.
yeah. Well, I mean, if it's you vomiting, you kind of want that to go out. But if it's someone vomiting on you, you kind of don't
Oh, no,
want
you
it.
don't want that coming anywhere near you.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be full PPE then. It's got to be like spacesuit. That's the only way you can be sure.
Does the vom guard, because once again, I'm envisioning this as a person.
Yeah.
I'm imagining like,
It's take a bullet for me vibe.
yeah, like
Yeah.
president security.
Correct.
Like when someone's
Yeah.
vomiting near you,
Yeah.
they will take the dive.
That's right.
And they've got to take it all.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because their goal is to get no vom
None
near
on me.
you.
That's right.
the only way to
not
do that.
minority of vom on me. It's none. As little as possible.
So that means they got to get it all on there.
That's right.
Yeah.
Sometimes they actually do like what's called preventative vom guarding, which is where like if someone looks a little bit unwell, they'll just like jump towards their face because the closer you get to their mouth, obviously, the more like
Vom you can catch.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. There's not as much like spread to cover. So a lot of people get real annoyed when I walk into the room and they're like, "I'm a bit sick today." Boom.
Well, I know that you have comprehensive vom insurance.
I do. I just like if you're gonna pay for it, I figure you might as well like make sure you're really safe.
Yeah, and that covers the people around you as well. So I haven't gotten vom on me for a while.
No, you're great.
So this vom guard of yours is just like flipping between just, you know, I appreciate it. It means that I don't really have to, it's people like you, people who have comprehensive insurance.
That's
that means that the rest of us don't have to worry
It's
about
like
it.
health insurance.
That's how it works, yeah?
Yeah, Brian's in the corner here. Thanks, Brian. Champ. Ever the professional, this guy.
The Brian. I'm Brian. I'm the Vomguard. I'm the Vomguard. I clean up the vomit. I don't enjoy my job. I don't deal with a lot of vomit. Mostly I have to follow Rubin around. The Rubin is, you think you walk him, you follow him, you dance, you go home, you sleep, you go back to class for a while, you vomit. I just want some vomit, honestly. It's my job. I train for 7 years. I trained for 7 years to be Vomguard. And you don't see any vomit. I've been slipping this, man. So
Brian,
much alcohol.
Brian, we're doing a pod-
So much alcohol. Huh?
We're doing a podcast, Brian. You gotta stay quiet.
No, sorry.
Jet wants to say
Sorry, I
something.
mumbled to myself.
That's okay. Just
I
keep it to a minimum.
This is a
in the
hard
podcast.
job, you
I appreciate your work.
I haven't got vom
told
on me
you that-
so long.
Okay, look. Well, Jet's having a drink right now.
Yeah.
So if you want to arrange something.
Excited. I'm very excited.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can arrange
you not
something.
tell my
I'll open the
excitement?
second can.
I'm giddy. I'm very giddy right now. I'm excited. Sometimes I want to drink alcohol myself to try and vom.
That would be highly unprofessional. That would be a violation of the highest order.
It's like insider trading. I know it's not good, but sometimes you just want. You're like, ooh, satisfaction for my professional career, Vomguard. Okay, I'll shut up. I'll shut up.
Thank you, Brian.
Okay, sorry.
Look, we appreciate your work. We just got. It's the second time we've tried this podcast. All right, we got to get it out.
Okay.
We got to
Call me if someone bumps.
Okay.
Who the fuck was that guy? Am I right?
Brian.
Oh, that's Brian.
We haven't introduced Brian to the listeners yet. He's been very professional, but he's really championed the bit recently.
Who's our male person? Liam the Bear.
Liam the Bear?
I was afraid for a second that they both had the same name.
No.
That'd be horrific if we had
That'd be really
characters with the same
confusing.
names. I mean, oh no, we did have
We had two Denises.
two Denises.
But they were very distinctly different on account of the fact that one was dead.
Yeah. And the other one
Didn't understand any modern financial systems.
Yeah.
5 cent pieces only, I think.
Yeah,
was
I
the
think
vibe.
that was about it.
Luckily, Brian's nothing like that. I pay Brian in like automated checks. Just boom, off it goes. Done.
Did you know that they're not taking checks anymore?
Yeah.
Some banks, they're
Yeah.
just like, no more.
My bank's like, yo, we're going to phase out checks.
Why? Keep it going.
Didn't the government say like by 2032 we're going to have no checks or some crazy thing like that?
But, I don't know, they're fun, they're paper. But also, you can scan checks now.
I don't trust checks.
You can scan...
Purely because I don't know how they work. What do you mean you write me a promise? I think it's just the same as cash or any other transaction.
Yeah, but it's if you don't have the cash,
Yeah.
or if it's too much to give someone.
Yeah.
You give them a bit of paper. You say,
Yeah.
$100,000.
Yeah.
You sign it.
Yeah.
And then you give it to the person. They take it to the bank, and
Yeah.
the bank looks at it and it's like, yeah, this person probably signed this. So
Yeah,
we'll wire money from
that-
their account to yours.
Feels like insecure, you know?
Yes.
I feel like someone could just write a name and a signature on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you want to close this loophole?
I don't trust checks.
Yeah, but like, who's ever defrauded you? But think about how many people you personally could defraud.
The thing about defrauded is that it sounds wrong. Like it sounds like the solution to the problem.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if someone is trying to fraud me, if they're doing a fraud on me, then I have been frauded.
Yeah.
Or infrauded maybe. And then if someone fixes, if I go to the bank and I say, hey, they stole some money from me, can I have it back? And they fix it up, then I've been defrauded. Like it's the wrong word. You know, someone's like, I've been defrauded. I'm like, good. No, wait, bad. All bad.
I think that there's okay. But like if you're stolen from and then you get the stuff back, you haven't been de-stolen.
Sure.
You know? It's not, D I don't think is the undoing of a thing.
Okay.
D is almost the other way of like, so to be defrauded, I think you have to fraud someone.
Well, it's like, there's lots of interesting prefixes like befriended. Doesn't mean, that means like made friends with.
Yeah, befriend.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That's really good. But defraud, do you see why in my head it's like undoing?
Well, why is deflect is the same as flect?
What?
Well, if you imagine something
Flect.
flecting, it's deflecting.
What is flecting?
I don't know. It's just it's the same as deflecting. If you pick
No, it's not. It's a made up thing you just made up.
What do you mean? It's just the end of the word.
It's the same end of the
Shut
word.
your
as-
eyes and imagine something flecting.
Oh God! There's organs everywhere. Oh God! What is? Why'd you make me do
Were
that?
things deflecting?
No, they were pouring out of the stomach. It was awful.
No, I don't like that. Why do you think
well-
deflecting? I think of something shimmery, like just going ping,
Shimmering.
like ping, like deflecting. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. Who's to say?
The first time in 10 years.
You remember at a time 10 years ago that I was wrong?
No, I'm just trying to forget every time that you were wrong in the last 10 years.
Oh, so do I. Hey, I drink to forget, but I
yeah?
always remember.
That sounds bad. That sounds like the worst of both worlds.
Yeah, that's what alcoholism is.
Oh, the worst of both worlds.
Yeah. But you get to taste tropical. And it's like tasting a Dr. Pepper. You know,
You
Dr.
said it
Pepper?
tastes like an ice ball. I can just have an icy bowl.
Okay, yeah, but you have to find a tropical one. But
That's
this
a
one
great
gets you
point.
buzzed. This one makes Brian follow you around like a fucking
Yeah, imagine if
sniff,
no
like
one drank, I could probably afford not to employ Brian like weekdays.
He's like a dog sniffing my ass.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
you're the
He's
biggest, you're
constantly
the
on
most
my tail.
persistent danger, so it makes sense.
I don't drink that much.
No,
though.
but in my life, like, what else is? Where's the vom danger? Yeah, pretty minimal.
I guess so. Food poisoning?
Yeah, always a possibility.
It's always a possibility.
That's why it's got to be comprehensive vom protection.
You can't just have it on alcoholism. You got to get
That's
it
right.
all.
You gotta get the full package.
Do we want to talk about the podcast that we do?
Nah, I'm kind of enjoying this. All right, fine. How does this work?
So the way this works is we talk about something we've started. Well, one of us talks about something we started. This time it's Rubin. Someone talks about the thing that they've finished. That'll be me. This is our new format if you haven't listened to the last episode.
Have I told you about how this format cost me $90 yet?
No, but you can soon.
Okay.
And then we do a coming up and a following up where I'll follow up on No, you'll follow up on last week's. Who finished something? You did finish something. Sorry, it's a very confusing format. But
It's a baffling system. It used to be so simple.
it makes sense when you draw it on a whiteboard.
It makes sense when you draw it on a whiteboard.
But you have to use multiple colors and different symbols.
You have to use stars and red and green.
Exactly. So,
And 1 and 2.
yes. Reuben will talk about it coming up. I'll talk about it following up. I'll talk about... No, I said the wrong thing.
I'll talk about a start of
Reuben
it.
will talk about it started. I'll talk about it finished it. Then I'll talk about my coming up for next week, the thing that I'll be starting next week, my started next week. Reuben, you'll follow up on the thing that you finished last week.
That's right. And maybe other bonus things.
And maybe other bonus things. So excited. Okay, so Reuben.
Yes.
Before you tell me about how you've been defrauded out of $90 by me.
By you. You've done a fraud.
Tell me what you've started.
Well, I'm not going to tell you about that yet. I'm going to tell you about this $90 fraud thing that you did to me.
Fine.
Now, when the old format was chugging along, I was cooking up a conspiracy master plan. It required, coordinating so many different props and experiences.
Really?
Yeah, and I did hint to you about this once, and I was hoping you had forgotten, which seems to have gone ahead.
did.
I was going to do a big all Oppenheimer episode. I was going to do, for my started it, I was going to do the Oppenheimer screenplay. For finished it, I was going to do the Oppenheimer book that I talked about a while ago. For following up, I was going to do the Oppenheimer movie, because I went to see it again. And then for coming up, I was going to cover a project called Chronol Oppenheimer, which is a YouTuber has put them all in chronological order. And they're like, it's a bad movie, don't watch it. And I was like, but I want to watch it. So that involved buying the screenplay, buying the Blu-ray, and going to see the movie again.
Yeah.
Right? Now, the format has changed. So I can no longer in any way fit all 4 of those in. So, I have lost approximately $95 on this plan.
You are welcome, listeners. You can send your thank you notes and your tips directly to me. Don't forward them through Stinish. Give them right to me. You are welcome that we do not have to suffer through that.
But if we
agony.
ever monetize this podcast, please know that I'm taking the first $90 for myself.
Well, I had to buy a mic for this podcast.
Well, no, I had to buy a mic for this podcast.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm using it right now.
All right, fine. Yeah, whatever. Tell me about you started it. Is it Oppenheimer?
Oh, I'm so tempted to
Don't
just
pick up that book prop.
but I've got the other book
You
in
have
my
a book
room.
prop.
I could just flip it on you.
No, we can't get anything from any other rooms.
Okay, but I could just do it in my head with
You
my
have
brain.
to bring everything to the podcast.
Oh, fine. I have started The Creative Act, A Way of Being.
Who's that by? What's that? It's a book.
It's by Rick Rubin. It's a book. I'm holding it. It's grey and it's got dots on it.
We talked about it last week.
We did.
And now coming up, that's how this works. We talk about the coming up and then we talk about the start of it. Look how great this format is.
Look how great this format is.
Continuity.
Do I have meaningful things to say about this started it?
Yes.
For narrative purposes, I'm going to say yes.
Great. For realistic purposes and being honest to our lovely, lovely listeners.
Let's find out as we go.
Perfect.
All right.
Well, how's the book going?
It's great.
Yeah.
My favourite page so far is the first page, which says, take everything with a grain of salt, take what you need, ignore the rest. Bits will resonate, bits of it won't.
Yeah.
Great. I'm also back on my sticky noting and annotating game. Which is fun.
I love a sticky note and an annotation.
I love a sticky note and an annotation. Look at this device that I have.
Okay, so I'm anti-sticky note, I've realized.
What?
It just...
Was it when I held up the sticky notes?
Yeah, I was like, that seems like too much.
But look at this. Look at this. I pull one out at a time and it presents the next one. There's 3 colors.
No.
Do the colors mean things? You bet the colors mean things.
Okay, what does the red one mean?
The pinky red one is like interesting thoughts or philosophies.
Awesome. What does the blue one mean?
The yellow one is like useful strategies or things to do when you're stuck.
Really? Now, what's the blue one mean?
You tell me and we'll both know. I haven't used any blues yet. I thought like maybe that'll be for like things that I violently disagree with, where I'm like, nah. But I don't know. I'm saving it.
Yeah, I mean,
What if
you
it
did
comes up,
preface
you know?
at the start, hey, if you don't like this, just don't like it.
What if I need a blue?
I don't know. What if you I'm anti. Let me tell you my anti-sticky note policy.
You fucking all right.
Sticky notes aren't permanent enough. They can flake. They can come off. Give me a nice big texter that I can circle the shit and scribble whatever I
These are not
want.
really sticky notes. They're like they're gonna hang. You know, they're gonna stay there. I reckon.
But for how long?
Well, years, hopefully. I don't know. I'm also marking the pages. But then I guess what would you do to find the pages themselves? Like dog ear them, flip them.
Oh yeah, I'm
This
a
is
big
a
fan of
secondhand
dog
book,
earing books.
so I'm not a fan of that. But I'm
not a fan of secondhand books.
No.
Boo. buy everything
Cut
once
down
at
all
new.
the trees. So yeah.
No, I like doing a highlighter or something like that, just scribbling right on the page. I've been reading some books that are secondhand. Look, I am pro secondhand, so I don't know if you want me off this podcast because you don't agree with my values, that's fine. I think it's an interesting dichotomy when you have two podcast hosts that disagree on something.
Yeah, but Brian's here, so you're outvoted. It's all right.
Shit.
We'll finish this episode. But then you're out.
But I've been reading some books that have annotations from previous people. I'm reading a book at the moment. I'm reading. I don't know. It's a pretty niche book. I don't think you've heard of it.
Okay, hit me.
It's kind of old.
We've covered some weird stuff on this podcast.
It's kind of old. I found it because someone in our apartment building left it outside, and I was like, "Look,
I bet you I've heard of this. Whatever.
I don't think you have.
I bet you I've heard of this.
It's super niche. I don't think anyone's really. It's Homer's The Iliad.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
All right.
Have you heard of Homer's The Odyssey?
Yeah.
I don't think you have. That one's also another niche.
No, wait.
You're probably thinking of Homer Simpson
I was
from
thinking of Homer
from The
Simpson from The
Simpsons.
Simpsons.
Yeah.
It's in the
Not
name.
him.
No.
No. Different thing. This is a Greek thing. Anyways, the person who
You and
previously...
your Greek fiction.
I'm a fan of Greek fiction. Yeah, I am a fan of Greek. I had to think
Thought
about that for a
sec.
second. Yeah, well, a lot of the time I make claims and then later I'm like, oh, maybe I was wrong.
Yeah, that was a rare moment of you thinking about it immediately afterwards rather than many months afterwards.
Instant reflection, and I agree with what I said.
Did you flect it?
No, wait. Doesn't matter. Anyways.
Your organs aren't all over the floor, so you seem fine.
So far. Organs, vomit, something's going all over the floor by the end of the podcast.
If it's organs, I'm not covered, so make it vom.
Okay, I'll try and make a vom. They wrote the hours in which it took them to read the book.
Oh yeah, that was interesting.
page.
You showed me this the other day.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Which,
I don't know. I don't sit down for a long enough time to read a book. I don't read a
it's
book
like
for an hour.
10 minutes at a time.
Yeah, I'll read it on the tram.
Yeah.
Sorry, I keep flecting
Trams.
from you.
You do
talking
keep
about...
flecting and keep it in your, just carpet here, all right? So just keep it in.
All right.
This book is good. I am
Show me, I'll tell you.
126 pages in.
Out of how many pages?
I don't know. You tell me. Fraction. What's that as a fraction?
That's about
Show and Jett the book. Bear in mind it's that way, obviously.
2/6.
So a third?
Yeah. I was trying to put it fancy ways.
No,
but,
that's not how that works. You know what? I reckon you're right. I reckon it might be a tiny bit less. But I'm looking at it from close up and you don't have your glasses and it's moody in here, so I don't blame you.
I lost my glasses
What?
on the weekend.
Oh,
I know
did you
where
find
they
them
are.
again?
No, I know where they are.
Okay. You know where you are or you have them?
I know where they are.
Do they know
I
where
have
you are?
no fucking clue where I am right now. It's very hard to find your way around without glasses.
Yeah.
No, I just left them in someone's place.
Oh, well, that was silly, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm doing fine.
Okay.
Until I go to the cinema. That's the only time.
I was going to say, you'll be fine. You
was-
don't wear them that often.
Have I told you about... Sorry to derail for this book.
You've told me about your blurry cinema experience.
My first blurry cinema
Yeah, but I don't
experience?
actually remember the details.
Okay,
So tell us all.
Everyone, shut your eyes.
Oh.
And flash back to 2016. The year of absolute fucking chaos. But there was one saving grace, one moment of normality where everything came together. And that was when the movie Suicide Squad came to cinemas. Me and my friends were so hyped about this film because the trailers were great. Some may say that the trailers were so good that they got the people who did the trailer to re-edit the film to be more like the trailer because everyone loved them so much. Some would say that ruined the film and it would be very questionable to enjoy the experience, but then later realize, I don't know, maybe have some reflection and say, oh, that's a bad film. Anyways, what I did, I watched the film. I was like, that was really good. However, the camera just wasn't in focus like the whole time. I was like, something is wrong. And then the credits were rolling. I was like, great. You know what? I had a fun time. Jared Leto was still a person in my good people list at this time. So I was enjoying myself. And as I got up to leave, I was like, let me put on my glasses again. Put on my glasses, looked at the screen. Super crystal clear. Like, no blur at all. Insanely fucking clear. I'm just an idiot who, I guess, didn't realize that screens were far away and forgot that I need glasses to see things far away. Now I get upset when I don't bring my glasses to the theater. And that sucks for like IMAX and 3D because then you're wearing glasses on glasses.
Glasses on glasses.
I don't need the Inception 4D experience. I just want to be able to see the screen.
Anything.
Anyways.
Thank you for that flashback.
You're welcome. Why were we talking about that?
Don't know.
Great.
Glasses.
Book. Go.
You were telling me how far through the book I was. It's pretty good. Bunch of useful tips. This Rick, my man Rick, my boy Rick, my Rickolas Rick Stein here is a
Are you a fan of him because he has a name that's the same as yours, but without a knee?
It's spelled so wrong in so many ways.
His name?
Yeah.
Look, people can have different names. You don't have to be mean about his name.
Well, I'm choosing to be mean about his name.
Okay.
So what are you going to do about it?
How's it spelled?
Rubin, which makes sense as a
Rubin.
surname, I feel, to be fair to Mr. Rickolas here. It's a good book. He's a music producer.
Yes.
But this is very
he produced?
broad.
You're the one reading his book.
Well, he doesn't talk about it. He talks about very broad. He's brought up one musician maybe and a few others in like a vague way.
Okay.
It's general creative tips. What is it to live as an artist vibe? Sometimes it's a little bit hippy dippy goopy floopy for me when he's like, the universe is a source with a capital S and it brings things to you through your filter and an idea wants itself to be expressed. And if you don't express it, someone else might. And I'm like, nah, I don't believe any of that. But it doesn't matter because everything else he says is pretty on it.
Yeah?
Yeah. Do you want to? I'm going to hand the book to you and you can open to a sticky noted page or any page really and one of us can read it.
All right. What's good? Red or yellow?
Both good. In the red is like,
Then what's the point of having them both?
well, they're for different things. Yellow is like, oh my God, I'm stuck on this thing. I need help. And red is like, I want to have a think about this.
All right, cool. I found a red one.
Okay, great.
And
did I grey let it or is it just the whole page mark?
No. You grey let it.
great.
So I'm going to read it out and then you can tell me what this means to you.
Oh, jeez.
And listeners, you can think about what this means to you and, I don't know, write in. Send us an email. Say, this made me think about this creative thing.
Reflect on it and get back to us.
Give it a little flex.
Don't reflect on it. It's really bad for you.
Can I read this, please?
No.
Our thoughts, feelings, processes, and unconscious beliefs have an energy that is hidden in the work. This unseen, unmeasurable force gives us peace, its magnetism. Gives each piece its magnetism, is what I meant to say. A completed project is only made up of our intention and our experiments around it. Remove intention, and all that's left is the ornamental shell. Though the artist may have a number of goals and motivations, there is only one intention. This is a grand gesture of the work.
No, this is perfect. This is a great example because it's got a little bit of that hippy dippy doopy doopy, but it's also like he's talking about something here. And actually, I know I only grey lettered those two paragraphs, but it's the little bit next also that
All right, I can read the little bit next.
No, I'm happy to summarize it.
All right.
It's just the idea that like the work carries a truth of its own and intention is more than a conscious purpose. So it's not like I want this work to be a discussion of plastic waste in the oceans. It's just like, no, once you put intention and energy into it, it has like a force of its own and that's going to interact with an audience in some way if there happens to be an audience.
That is uncontrolled?
Yeah, it's part of their subjectivity.
So I sort of blacked out when I was I was focusing very hard on not messing up the words.
And you messed up the words?
I did mess up.
Do you want a fresh take? Do you want to just delete all of this? Go again? I'm kidding.
You know what? Imperfection, that's an okay thing.
There's probably a chapter on that.
Maybe.
Anyway, yeah. So that was a perfect example. That was a really good page you picked.
Thank you.
What
does that mean personally to you and something that you've worked on?
Why did I do this one?
Don't look at a different thing. The thing that I said before.
I'm looking at the same thing.
Oh, okay, good.
I think it's just this idea that like you might have a number of goals and motivations and you might be trying to say or experiment with or think through a bunch of things, but at the end of the day, like it exists on its own terms almost. Like it kind of takes some of the pressure off, lowers the stakes.
Yeah, but
Huge on that at the moment.
what does that apply that to a personal situation?
What if I don't want to?
I don't know. This is about
okay. Well, so for example, like my graduation piece that I did at the end of my dance degree is like I had a bunch of interests. I communicated some of them in the program that people may or may not have chosen to read, but it's like almost everyone who spoke to me about it had like quite a specific response to it, and it was like they were reading or interpreting this thing that is the intention of the work that has its own life. And I was like, some of them I was like, yeah, and some of them I was like, okay. But it was there and it was enough.
Yeah. Do you think brochures should be more mandatory? Because I find that often I'll either read I'll get a brochure if it's something that I'm excited about seeing, and I probably know already about it.
Okay.
But if I don't, then I often don't get the brochure, and then sometimes I'm very confused as to what the thing.
Yeah, there's always a question. And also, like, do you read it beforehand or after?
Yeah.
I am a huge fan of physical paper programs.
Yeah, because you're
And make them free.
pro like cutting down trees and all.
Yeah,
that.
pro cutting down trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no profit from it either.
Because when they're on a QR code, people either can't access it or they can access it, but because it's there on the internet, they're like, I'll read this later. And sometimes they read it in the intermission of something or after or whatever, but it's totally different to, and you can also then engage with it as an artifact and take it home and be like, I did this or like I saw this. A huge fan of those. And if people don't want to read them, there is always the choice to not, or to take it home and read it that night or next week or whatever.
I would also say
Huge fan.
you can't take out your phone in a theater.
Yeah.
Or like when, I don't know, some sort of presentational space. So it's like, great, I scanned it. Oh, the thing's about to start.
Yeah.
I can't just read it then. But if you picked up I don't know, you get bored during the play or the
Exactly.
performance, you can look down at the pamphlet and be like, oh, I get why I'm bored now. I have no interest in this whatsoever.
I could have saved myself all this trouble if I'd read this earlier.
I read the brochure and then got a refund on my ticket, I guess. Yeah. I'm pro brochure. Although, yeah, sometimes you might have extras afterwards and it's like, that's not good. I don't know, make sure they're recyclable.
Just make, yeah.
Yeah. So you can put them into new trees. Maybe
You
you
can
can
even
make
like
mulch
see
out of
how many
them.
tickets you've sold or go show by show and just print as you need in some
But
situations.
not everyone will grab a brochure. But if you make them mandatory, everyone grabs a brochure. Put them on the seats.
Put them on the seats.
Unless people are standing, in which case, hang them in the air.
Just hang them right at head height so no one can see anything until they've taken their...
They can grab them off if they want to. Put them on little hooks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm here for that.
Yeah.
New plan.
Like a raining
creative
down
project.
of people standing there in an auditorium, and then suddenly a bunch of brochures drop from the ceiling.
Like oxygen masks in an airplane.
Exactly. That's what I want. You know, they have so many brochures on airplanes.
They do. They have like 3 tucked in the seat in front of you.
Exactly. They take up all the seat.
And then they
seat
expect you to
tucking
listen to
space.
the safety briefing. I'm like, I'm looking at the pretty pictures.
Exactly.
I'm not interpreting them. I'm just going, oh, boat, yellow boat, blow up yellow boat,
If you
blow
want
up yellow boat with slide,
if
blow up yellow boat with slide on the water.
If you want to give me a step-by-step guide on how to blow up a yellow boat slide in the water, give it to me when I need to do that. Drop it down with the oxygen mask.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Right? Chuck brochures on strings.
Bada bing, bada boom, bada blow up yellow boat on the ocean. Yeah.
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 Wicked.
No.
I tried to earn it.
No, it didn't.
It didn't work.
Every time you get in there, you're getting some of us. I can feel the listeners. We're getting behind you. We're like, look, Rubin's done some pretty cringeworthy stuff in the past, but he's turning it around. You know, fucking maybe he's got some style. And then you come out with Wicked.
No apologies. Okay, in terms of one more quote from this book.
Yeah, do it.
There's lots of good stuff. A lot of it is like a couple of paragraphs, a couple of sentences. This one here is the one so far that is the most dense with good stuff. Like it's in the smallest amount of words, the most amount of good stuff.
Right. Most good stuff per good stuff.
Most good stuff per good stuff. That's right. It's good.
Well,
It's
read
kind
it
of
out to
obvious,
me.
but I'm gonna read
Tell
it.
me.
What you make doesn't have to be witnessed, recorded, sold, or encased in glass for it to be a work of art. Fucking genius. Also, one more. I know I keep saying one more.
Yep.
This is not the dedication at the start, but the one where they're like, I'm going to borrow someone else's words because they said it better 10 years ago. The object isn't to make art, it's to be in that wonderful state which makes art inevitable. By Robert Henri. So that's fun. Enough reading.
No, I want to talk about the one just before that though. The one that is
The intentional one?
Yeah, nobody has to see the art for it to
Oh,
be.
yeah.
Now, I would say, but if there is a person making the art, it isn't a Schrodinger's cat of art where it's like you chucked a bunch of paint in a box and shook it. Who knows what's on the inside?
Oh, that's a cool idea for an art.
Fuck, nobody heard that. Nobody listened to that. That was mine. That's mine. I've done it. Don't take it. I have copyright. If you make something.
That means we can copy, right?
No, copyright is not, it's all right if you copy.
Yeah, it is. It's the right to copy.
I will write you a check for negative $1,000 if you copy it, which means
Right.
you owe me the money.
But there's 2 options, right?
Yeah.
We can copyright or I can trade with Mark. Then if I trade with Mark, I don't owe you any money.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Mark's good like that.
Mark's really good. He's really happy to trade all the time.
He's a socialist.
I
doesn't believe in the economic system.
No.
Under, you know?
He's like, you got something, I got
Which,
something.
like, I mean, I like Mark when it's not my stuff, but whenever it's my stuff, I'm like, Mark, you don't trade.
How does Mark get everyone's stuff?
Mark. He's
Probably
so connected.
Probably through trade, though, is how he gets everyone's stuff to then trade it off.
They do call him Trade Mark.
Yeah, that's how he probably gets it. Wow, that bugger. What are you trading with, Mark? What's the latest thing you've traded with them?
Oh, I couldn't possibly say.
What do you mean?
Well, it involved paint and it involved a box and it involved shaking the box. So
yeah, but what did you give for that?
Oh,
because you got to trade. It's not a one-way trade.
No. It's a trade with Mark, not a charity from Mark.
Yeah. It's not a give Mark. It's not a
give Mark.
It's not a. Well, you said charity Mark. I was trying to think of another thing.
So you're familiar with paper planes?
I've heard of the concept.
So I had copyrighted the idea of paper helicopters, but I traded that with Mark because I wanted to use some paint.
But you don't have that anymore.
Not anymore because I traded it to Mark. That's how he gets all our shit.
Is it like it spins? How does a paper helicopter?
No, I hadn't figured that out yet. That's why I traded it to Mark. I was like, this is a dud. But maybe you can, if you're out there, find Mark. Maybe you can figure it out.
Does there have to be a new thing that no one's ever thought of?
Well, no. Mark sometimes takes repeats.
Okay.
You know, sometimes it's supply and demand.
Okay.
Why? What you got for Mark?
I don't know. I just thought
What you got for Mark?
I thought of this.
What can Mark do for you? What can you do for Mark?
I really want to get my paint box idea back.
Oh, you want it? Oh, once it's out of the box.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, I just had this idea for paper thopters. So a paper are you familiar with paper planes?
No, if I still had the access to my paper helicopters, I would try to say, you can't copy me, right?
Yeah.
But I traded that to Mark, so I can't stop you doing. I'm familiar with paper planes.
Okay, you're familiar with the film franchise Dune?
I'm familiar with the film franchise Dune.
Great.
You come here on the day of my daughter's wedding.
It's a paper version of the thopter from Dune.
Okay, so it's got 6 legs and it's like a dragonfly.
I guess so.
Okay, I feel like you don't know what you're talking about.
What is this accent?
I think it's becoming a little bit more like a bad South African accent. I'm going to stop this now.
Just stop that accent.
I was enjoying slowly drifting into it and not knowing what it was at any point.
Yeah. And then I feel like as soon as it becomes more and more specific, that's when you gotta
time to trade it.
Losses.
Mark, come take this accent.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's right for me to use it.
No, give it to Mark.
I don't think I can copy, right?
I don't think so.
Anyway.
But give it to Mark. Mark will find someone.
Mark will find someone. Probably someone from South Africa.
Yeah. Anyways, what if you put a bunch of paint in a box and shake it?
Oh, that's a great idea.
I'm saying that's a way to create something, but you don't know what it is.
Okay.
But
I forgot you were making a serious point.
I was making a genuine serious point.
Sorry.
Then someone started doing accents. Someone started talking to Mark. Doesn't matter. So the thing is about that, it's like nobody has to see it for it to be art. You can make something and it can still be art. It doesn't have to be observed. It doesn't have to have this whole, production behind it, whatever. Well, in that case, you're still observing it. You still appreciate it. You're still there is some observation.
Yeah, the author is the audience.
Yeah, even though
unless you're Schrodinger's boxing it.
Yes, exactly. So I'm like Schrodinger's boxing.
Even then, you've put the intention into the creation, though.
Yes. Yeah, but it's not being observed. So the point of that was if it's not observed by others, if it is not presented as an art piece, it is still, it can still be art to you.
Further down that page, it talks about like we're all living as artists, like receiving information and processing it through our own self, right? Like through our filter. So it's even like doesn't have to be an object or an idea or an art. Like we are artists just by living. Anyways, getting a bit hippy-dippy woo-woo.
Yeah, this is sounding a bit like that one time where you told me you were doing a thing for uni where you were doing a collage and you said it was dance.
Yeah.
Because anything is dance?
Yeah, well, Pio Lich said it was dance. I was like, what? You're the expert.
Well, I don't know. Pio Lich, Rick Rubin. I don't trust these fellas.
Oh, no, you're anti-expert?
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm pro cutting down trees, so.
But we all got bad takes.
That's right.
We all got a bad takes.
Speaking of bad takes. No, I don't know. I was going to segue to yours. But I don't actually know what your take is.
Do you recommend starting this book?
Yes. If you're interested in making it all. If you're not, I don't know. Who's it for? I don't know.
Well, everyone's a creative.
Everyone, that's right.
Do you think that Do you think this could inspire someone who hasn't actually indulged in their creative side to maybe take that jump?
It's pretty approachable.
Yeah.
I think, yes.
Yeah. Art is approachable. All you have to do is chuck some paint in a box. But don't do that because I had that first. I've traded back with Mark for the Thopter idea. I've now got box paint.
But if you want Thopters, you can have paper Thopters.
I didn't give. I honestly, I'm gonna be up front with you. I never gave a shit. It was. I basically copied it off of paper copters. I'll never admit that on record.
No, you couldn't possibly.
In this intimate room of us two.
Yes.
I did copy it off of you.
Yeah, look, that's okay.
But you're never going to catch me for it.
Never going to get you.
Haven't got me.
You can't catch me now.
Ba-doom, boo. Do you want to hear about the thing that I finished?
I would love to hear about the thing that you finished.
Excellent. The thing that I have finished is...
Brian?
I'm sorry.
Brian?
I'm fine. You want me to come over?
Yeah, please. Just don't bump the table, Brian. Just careful.
Yeah.
Careful.
I don't
God
need to
damn it, Brian! You bumped the table. It's okay.
It's finalistics. I play croquet on Thursdays and on Fridays I pick flowers for my nana. Those are the two things that I do.
Okay.
Mainly besides this.
If you just stand like
Rubin,
between
get out the
me
way.
and
Get out the way. Get out the way.
Okay, oh shit!
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. You're fine. I'm good. I've just had honestly, I had a third of one of these from the other day, from when we first tried to record this episode, and they're like, half of another one. It's just hitting me a bit. You good? I can jump into it. I'm fine. Reuben, you good?
I'm good if you're good.
I'm good. I'm fine.
Okay.
We're fine.
Okay.
I want to talk about the thing that I finished. Yeah, thing that I finished though. Sorry.
Well, that would be great. Are you sure you want to keep? You happy to keep going?
I'm happy to keep going.
Okay, Brian, don't move a muscle. Except, I mean, if you need to, then move. Real quick. Okay.
Lunge onto your lap at any opportunity.
Appreciate.
I will lunge onto your lap.
Brian, keep it in your pants. Okay,
keep it in your pants.
Yeah, it's in my pants. All right.
What if vomit gets in your pants? Maybe I have to go into your pants. I don't know.
Brian.
What if vomit gets? It's a serious question.
If the vom gets in my pants, you're already.
Can I start? Can I do my?
Yes, please do your starter. You finished it.
Stay in your corner. Okay. Jesus Christ. The thing that I finished is watching Dune Part 1 and Dune Part 2 back to back. A marathon!
Woo! Na 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 bomb probably.
Yeah. I don't know the tune. Was it? Well,
unfortunately for us, the listeners will have just heard Hans Zimmer, so we will sound like absolute garbage following that no matter what we do.
Good point.
Yeah.
We watched this both together in IMAX, the first and the second one.
Yes.
How did you feel?
Tired.
Me too. After the first one.
Yeah.
That's a long movie.
So it's a fairly long movie.
They're both 4 hours long.
Okay.
You've seen the first one 17 times at this point.
Yes, I'm just going to go with all these numbers.
In IMAX as well.
Yeah. I was there at every screening.
Every single one you could get to.
Yeah.
There was vomit that one.
Well, I couldn't go to that one.
You had to leave halfway through, but that's the whole thing. Yeah, whatever. Sorry, I just saw Brian's eyes light up at the mention of vomit.
Yeah.
Anyways, we had fun. We had a great time.
We did.
I think.
We had thematic snacks.
You brought surprise thematic snacks.
I brought surprise thematic snacks.
What did you bring?
I was almost late for the movie. But not because of that. Actually, I was just waiting for our dinner, which we also had to bring into the cinema, which I felt kind of awful about. But it was fine.
I felt, okay. So, I had not eaten all day. I ate at work, but I was coming from work and I thought I was going to be late for the movie. I managed to get there half an hour early. Go me. Rubin, who's like a 15-minute drive, managed to be there after the movie started. So I was
feeding the cat and getting us dinner and getting us snacks and driving us both to and from the movie.
Yeah.
So,
well, not two. I got there on my own.
The car had to be driven too so that you could get home, didn't it?
Yes, they're just semantics. Rubin brought us kebabs, and I felt bad because those are foily. Like we sat in the cinema.
They were not our first choice, but places were shut.
Yeah. Now I felt bad until the movie started, in which the people I was guzzling down that
we were eating so fast, it was horrible.
The people next to us
also leaning in towards each other to minimize the noise and potential food spill.
Kind of like what we do in the podcast. Gotta minimize. The people next to us chips crackling around the
Oh, that was
the
the
loudest open mouth munch. Gross. And I instantly felt worse that I didn't leave my eating to take longer. I was like, well, I could have enjoyed this properly instead of, whatever. Doesn't matter. That's not what the movie was about.
Well, do we want to talk about where that couple went for Dune Part 2?
I would love to talk about it if we knew.
Well, yeah. They
just-
never came back.
They disappeared.
Only people in the whole cinema that I could see that didn't return. For the new one that no one's seen yet, baffling series of decisions.
Back to back, like, what are you doing? Now, I do have a theory
Yes.
that they were both, let's say, under the influence of some sort of spicicle drug.
They were having the real 4D experience.
The true 4D experience, glasses on glasses. Now, the reason why I think this is because every time there was a fun camera movement, it might be some sort of hologram happening, or it might be a scrolling camera over the city. They would both lean into each other and be like, "Oh, that was pretty scary, wasn't it? Oh, that was a lot. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm good. Are you? Yeah, just focus. Just don't close your eyes if you need to, but it'll be fine. Just it'll be chill." So
Did they say that?
Yeah, they were like, just don't worry about it. Just relax, drink some water. So I'm like, I'm glad they're having a great time, but they are making a hell of a lot of sound. So I swapped seats with you. Now that was a malicious swapping of seats. I didn't
realize this at the time.
No, I was like, hey Reuben, why don't we switch it up? Because it would be
Like,
weird.
sure, we're going to be here for it's fine.
Self-preservation at its finest.
Then do you know what happened?
What?
I had empty seats next to me. Calm as a bitch.
Yeah. But it was good. I had a fun time. I have some notes about.
bet
Do we
you
want to
do.
just jump right in?
Jump right in.
So
We're going to do spoilers for part 1 here. but
and then
no-
non-spoilers part 2.
That's right.
But we'll mention some things about part 2, but we won't go full spoilers obviously. Part 1. Now, I was reminded recently that when I watched part 1, when I was talking to people about it afterwards, I apparently thought it was very boring. I was like, that was a boring long movie that I guess I didn't enjoy that much. But I remembered liking it. But this time, it was phenomenal. I think because I knew what was going on, which is weird because when I'd watched it in cinemas, I read the book
Yeah.
before the movie came out because I was like, look, it's a dense one. I've got to be prepped. I've got to do my homework. I'm writing all in the margins. I didn't write how long it took me to read the book because that would have, all of the pages would have been covered by my clocking in and out.
2 minutes, 1 minute, 7 minutes.
But I understood it this time. I was like, great. I know who the Harkonnen are. I know who the Atreides are. I know the like political issues and the balances and what's been who's screwing over who. I got it,
Wonderful.
which was phenomenal. I think that really helped. Did you get it from the start when you first watched it?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I don't know if
some
I'd
of
read
us
it.
can't be
I
amazing.
definitely started it later than you, the book. I don't know if I'd read it more recently, but it was top of mind. So I think I got it.
Yeah.
They cut some of my favorite scenes.
They cut
probably
some-
for simplicity.
I will never get over the fact that they cut the dinner scene
Oh, the dinner scene.
where it's a bunch of the, political people just having a rouse about across the dinner table.
The best.
Just having a bit of an argument. It's
You
real
like Game of
tense.
Thrones.
Yeah, Game of Thrones.
I have something on this that I found this week. A quote from director Denis Villeneuve.
Yeah.
Not talking about like, I cut the dinner scene just because I hated it. But frankly, I hate dialogue. Dialogue is for theatre and television. I don't remember movies because of a good line. I remember movies because of a strong image. I'm not interested in dialogue at all. Pure image and sound, that is the power of cinema. But it is something not obvious when you watch movies today. Get this. In a perfect world, I'd make a compelling movie that doesn't feel like an experiment, but does not have a single word in it either. People would leave the cinema and say, wait, there was no dialogue? But they won't feel the lack. Which explains why he took out most of my favorite scenes, which are all people talking and trying to figure out what's going on with each other. But he did sound and image and whatever, so, full credit.
Now, that I would argue, I love dialogue because dialogue's fun.
Dialogue is character.
Dialogue
so is action and stuff and whatever. But
Yeah, but like I love hearing what people have to say. And I love characters interacting with each other through dialogue. I guess, we have these issues, especially with adaptions, where it's like, Harry Potter into movies. Well, they cut some of my favorite scenes and all the dialogue of the characters actually spending time together. Also Marvel, as we talked about last week, about how, the best scenes are when they're just hanging out with each other, but we have to minimize that because of the action scenes. With shows, that is what, there's the dialogue, space for dialogue there. That's great. And they're really, I don't know, you have less space in movies. Cutting it out completely, interesting decision.
To be fair, I would have thought Dune was unadaptable. And after the first one, I think one of my first reviews was still like, still don't know if this is going to work.
But it came together.
But I kind of think he did the impossible here. So full credit.
So let's talk about Dune Part 1. I have a note here that says meters for worm, feet for plants.
Yes.
Now,
agreed. Nightmare.
At the start of this, film, our main character Paul, also just regular name for a space person. We have the Harkonnen and the Atreides, and we have Paul. Here's Paul.
Don't worry. You don't like that name? Don't you worry. We're gonna give him so many freaking names.
That's a good point.
He's gonna have like minimum 5.
I think they had all the names like the Mordib, I don't know, I couldn't only think
Mahdi, Lisan El Gaib, which is the voice from the outer world.
Yep.
Bunch of them.
You have all those, but God, it got confusing. So like, look, well, nah, we'll give him a Paul. So anyways, Paul is using a movie book,
which
or something like that. It's called something like a film,
I think
film
it's
comic,
book.
A film book. Okay. To learn about this new sand planet, Arrakis, and it's reading to him with these hologram visuals, and it's like, the great worm can reach over 400 meters in length. And also there are these plants, but they are rare. But these plants can reach up to 70,000 feet underground with their roots. Why'd you switch between meters and feet?
What are you doing?
This is set in like 10,191?
Wow, impressive.
Did I get that right?
You got that right.
Fucking A. Anyways, it's that way that people would have
decided. Who's counting, 8,000 years away.
There's no way that we're still like, oh, should we use meters or feet?
No way.
There's probably a new measurement. I don't give a shit. Chuck in a new measurement.
It's probably 14 Goozadooks.
Yeah, say 14 Goozadooks, which is the equivalent to 400 meters,
Yeah.
Anyways, that
Goozadooks are real big.
Well, I think we have different interpretations as how big Goozadooks it's about your own brain capacity and what you interpret a butterfly size to be.
Right.
It's like whatever your left foot times 3.
Oh, yeah.
And also like the biggest apple you ate in the last week.
Yeah.
It's like you multiply all that.
I had a huge apple on Thursday, so it makes sense that I feel like a Goozadook is pretty big.
Oh, sorry. It's like it's 1% of the apple. Yeah. And it's multiplied in the negative.
Okay.
So it's.
But my foot's huge. Have you seen this thing?
Yeah, well, it's 3 times your foot, so that's pretty large.
That's pretty large.
But once again, it's all personal.
I got all those extra toes on that foot.
Also, like, how healthy are you right now? Because it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. It's
anyway,
a complicated system.
Why not put in the Goozadooks? That's note number 1. Note number 2. Now, can we talk about Daddy Atreides here?
Yeah, we had an argument about this off air.
We did. About how I think that he's nice, and you think that he's a piece of shit now.
Yeah.
He's nice.
I think the movie is a little more generous to him than maybe other things, and I'm maybe being a little influenced by that. But I also think that being nice to the indigenous population that you're colonizing doesn't really stop you colonizing them and extracting every resource from their planet.
For sure. But they don't say, hey, we don't want, like, we're going to keep this spice to ourselves. This is our thing and you're not allowed to have any of it. Ultimately, they don't want the spice. They're like, we want...
Everyone wants the spice.
No, but we're talking about the, what are they called? The native people of Arrakis? The Fremen. Yeah. The Fremen are like, we would love this to be a water world once again.
Yeah.
Bring in need some James Cameron. Bring in...
James Cameron.
No, that other guy from Waterworld.
No, there's no other guy.
From Waterworld.
James Cameron.
No, the one who's the Australian guy.
Steve Irwin.
Yeah, Steve Irwin.
Yeah, from Waterworld.
Bring him in.
He got killed by a jellyfish. He must have been in the water.
He wasn't killed by a jellyfish.
What was he killed by?
A stingray.
Yeah, it's that one. Thing in the sea that stings you. Water bees.
Water bees.
Yeah. Or we've got water bears. Why not water bees?
Anyways, they're like, we would love a water world. We don't really care too much about the spice.
They need a little bit of spice, but they want mostly water.
But they don't need it. They inhale it enough. It's like sawdust to them. Just like, ugh. But instead of getting a chest infection,
they
they can see into the future. Yeah, good dreams. Anyways, he's nice. overall. At least that's your perception.
I mean,
Also-
he's a lot better than the genocidal maniacs who are bald and black and white.
And also, he's open to learning, and that's important. And he's also played by Oscar Isaac, who is very hot.
It's, not gonna lie, it distorts your opinion a little bit. You're like, I feel like he's evil. Oh, look at that beard though.
Yeah, it's pretty sexy. And he has
No, but I'm a little bit distracted by right next to that beard is the fascist symbol and uniform on his collar. But
what do you mean
look at those
fascist
eyes.
symbol?
They're wearing all black with eagles on them.
Yeah,
It's practically an SS uniform at that point.
eagles are American. That's different.
I feel like when you're talking about colonizing sand planets in order to extract oil, the example that you don't want to bring up of a benevolent, kind ruler is America.
It's not oil, it's spice.
It's
Anyway,
oil.
all right.
It was written in 65.
Anyways,
64?
my
It's
note
oil.
here is I think Daddy Dune orders guards to be mean so that he can seem nice.
That's a good point.
Because every scene that we have him in, there'll be someone, whether it be Dr. Kynes or whether it be the leader guy from the Fremen. They come in and they're like, great, I'm going to shake your hand, I'm going to spit on you, do whatever, do my thing of being like, hey, I respect you. The guards jump in and are like, hey, what the fuck are you doing close to our
throats
door?
all the time.
Right? I think that he orders them to be knives at throats all the time so that he can be like, hey, no, everyone chill. They're allowed to come near. Because that's what he does every single time.
That's going straight in the headcanon.
Yep.
I am so there with you.
Okay, so glad. Here's the next one. Right? This one is about the end of the film where this is after Paul and his mother. What's his mother's name again?
Jessica.
Paul and Jessica have, the city has been
Badass,
bombed.
by the way. The scene where they're in a thopter and she breaks him out using like mostly just the voice.
Yeah.
Crazy good.
Really good. But they're in the desert and Paul's like, hey, I read those TikToks.
Yeah.
Those captioned TikToks about how to survive in the desert. The Fremen, they use this sand walk where they walk in this I don't know, like this non-uniform way
You have to break up the rhythm.
Yeah, break up the rhythm, make it look like your normal, like the sand's moving or something. So it's not like a worm's like, oh, there's a thing there that I can eat. Anyways, he says something like, do what I do.
Yeah.
Follow me. I know what to do. I learnt this. That is a white boy teaching someone how to do an indigenous dance.
Yeah.
Because it's literally referred to like as a dance at some point. And that's just really funny to me. I'm like, this is solely...
Paul's not very nice.
No. Well,
It's
no.
all right.
But like,
Part one.
that's what you do, I guess. But I just like thought...
It's
like in that
definitely a
situation, like, well, this is how I've learned that these people
Right,
do
what are you
this.
going to do, die instead?
Yeah, but I was like, this is a white boy.
I
being
like that came back in part 2.
I know how to dance, which I will bring up. I also found it interesting that what does this say? How do I extract voter from? Oh, okay. Wait, I have two things. First thing, these are both to do with dying on Arrakis.
Great.
First thing is, you could just get killed by a sandworm by accident.
Yep.
Because often we see him just speeding through the desert. Like we just see him in the on the landscape just speeding through the desert. What if you were doing your sand walk? You're like, great, I'm fucking sneaky as hell. This is great. And then a sand like a train barreling through like past a train station that it isn't stopping at just fucking runs you over.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
It's a possibility. And then the other thing is we have some characters that the Fremen, they really value the water.
Yeah.
That
It's
everyone
sacred.
holds. It's sacred. Even the water inside people's bodies.
Yeah.
Right? They're like, if someone dies,
Yep.
we're going to keep that water
Yes.
so that we can use it in some way. How do they, my question while watching part 1 was, how do they extract the water from the body?
I'm so glad you had that question.
Is it just, do you just leave them in a still suit and just like suck the water out?
Wow.
Just like leave them in a still suit until it just runs all of the water out of their body.
I sure hope someone answers that in a future movie.
Anyways, that's Dune Part 1, everyone.
Yes.
Those are my thoughts. Did you have any thoughts or anything you wanted to bring up
I
about Dune
enjoyed
Part
it.
1?
Felt shorter this time around.
It felt longer for me. I will say it felt longer. However, I enjoyed it more.
That's good.
Should we get on to Dune Part, which is June
The
Part
thing
2.
that we're here to talk
This is the
about.
thing that everyone's here for.
The new thing.
The new thing.
The hot new thing. The hot, dry, sandy new thing.
Hot, dry, sandy new planet that still uses feet.
Can't blow up a boat and take it on the water here.
What did you think of Dune Part 2? AKA, as I like to call it. Wait, as I like to call it. What's that as an acronym?
Ailtiki.
June Part 2. Altiki, July.
Don't do any of that.
You're not a fan of July?
I'll accept July, but ditch the other thing.
Altiki?
Yeah.
No, I'm
that.
keeping it. What did you think of July?
I was in a tiredness coma and couldn't properly process it, and I don't know what I think.
Really?
But it was pretty good, right?
Well, to be fair, we had watched a 7-hour film just before watching another 7-hour film.
It's true. I was tired.
You were tired. I
enjoyed it.
had
What
a
do you think?
phenomenal time.
Okay, great.
I really enjoyed it.
More than the first?
Yeah.
Yeah?
For sure.
Because it was all set up and ready to, like, the dominoes started falling this time?
Genuinely, I think that the first film was like watching
Half a movie.
Yeah, but it was like watching a charismatic person sometimes talk to you in a sandy desert while setting up dominoes.
But it had
in
all
an
those
extravagant
explosions.
position. Yeah, well, explosions. Yeah, that was when they accidentally knocked some dominoes halfway through, and then all of their work got destroyed. And they had to restart. But then the second one in July, we got to see them all those dominoes.
Dum, 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 dum.
I thought it was great.
Yeah,
I
it was. Let's be
think
honest.
all the actors were really good.
Every new cast member they had in, insane.
I even liked that guy that's Elvis. I liked Elvis.
Yeah, did you like Anya Taylor-Joy though?
No, I literally turned to you when we had a jump scare of Anya Taylor-Joy, who just before this,
She's in the movie for like 15 seconds tops.
it's genuinely just one flash forward. And you hear of, we were having a conversation before the film about how I don't like Anya Taylor-Joy and I haven't seen her in anything I like because Furiosa, the trailer for Furiosa was playing before it. And then to have her just appear out of nowhere, horrific. Also as a weird character that, I don't know, it makes you feel icky. Yeah. This film really had obviously everything coming together.
Yeah.
But the actors I felt like were doing better with the stuff.
I would agree.
I think they were given more. We have crazy character development. We have basically everyone becoming detestable in some regard.
Everyone's like nightmarish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was...
Because some of them are villains and the other ones have been in the desert for like a year at this point or whatever.
This was also, while we had more villains, we also had more humor, I felt.
My favorite decision this movie made,
Yeah.
in all seriousness.
In all seriousness.
Yeah, like not even a joke.
Yeah.
Like we joke about Madam Web or whatever. And I think probably maybe my favorite choice that this film made, Stilgar was funny this time.
He was so
And Javier Bardem brought it.
Dude, that guy's great. He was funny in the last one, but it was in like a dry comedy.
Yeah, it didn't land for me. It felt almost like we were laughing at him.
No,
or
you
something.
laughed in a bit. Like when he
Yeah.
it's when he
I never liked the spitting scene. Was it that
You didn't
scene?
like the spitting? It was
No,
at the end of the
just odd.
spitting scene where I was like, yeah, fine.
Oh, no,
whatever.
yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
when he leaves.
Yes.
I'm done here.
Yeah.
And just walks out.
Yeah, it's great. But yeah, he was so funny in this. Because he's like this, I was going to say like evangelicus, like, I don't know, how would you...
Yeah, he's a fervent believer in the prophecy, and whenever anything goes according to the prophecy, he's like, as written, and whenever anything doesn't go as like the prophecy says, he says, as written, and just like crams it into his prophecy.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
And you have this really interesting divide between the Fremen of the people who believe this. Like this story of this Messiah that they've been told, this savior coming from another world, and the people who are like, no, we're like barely surviving on this desert planet that's been overrun by space Nazis. There's no Messiah. This is a thing that we've been told by this group who wants to like
The
control
nuns.
us. The nuns.
Evil nuns.
Yeah, and you see that a lot more in this, and I think that really helped. That was something that I didn't fully grasp while reading the book, but also the book's dense and it's, you know.
The best parts of the book are the appendices, and I'm not even kidding, because that's where they tell you about the Bene Gesserit, and he tells you about like how the ecology actually works and what the Fremen actually want. Like you have to work through 650 pages before you go, oh, which is why reading it a second time I was like, I actually get it this time.
I don't think I read all the appendices.
They're long and written in not a narrative way, but oh my God, the actual world building stuff's in there.
This did make me excited to maybe read it again, especially after the first one as well.
I read it again as prep like early last year because this was originally going to come out back in like September or October.
But writer's strikes.
Yeah.
But now it's out.
Now it's out.
And
it's good.
We didn't have any half-baked CGI.
Yeah.
We did have weird flips, though.
One weird flip.
Okay,
I feel like you're allowed one.
There was a bit where Paul or someone else, I don't know.
I think it was him in the end.
It was one of the Fremen, like, jumps up from the sand in a funny, they use snorkels to hide under the sand.
The best.
Which also is ridiculous. Okay, so the Fremen, the native sand people, they're ambushing these like the evil, is it Harkonnens?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Harkonnen people that are basically mining the spice from the ground. And so their way of ambushing them is to hide under the sand with snorkels and then wait till they're close enough until they jump up and kill them all.
Yeah.
Sure, it works in the way of like it's a sand, they're going to see you coming if you run at them, right? But then we have the same thing later at the end of the film where it's closer to the capital.
How'd they get there?
How did they get there?
How the fuck did they get there?
So you must have walked there.
Also, are they like inside the shield wall at that point?
Right.
How'd they get there?
How did they get so close to the capital walls? And then what? Then you dug yourself a hole to like sleep in until someone came by? What? Or were you walking underground? Were you walking through the sand? Which is also
snorkels.
But snorkels.
The reveal of
cool.
snorkels is pretty good.
Anyways, Paul jumped up from the snorkel, killed someone, and then after he killed him, with nobody around, just did a flip. Just like did a side flip.
Did a roll off onto the side.
It's like
just run. Just crouch and run.
I feel like you knew that's what I wrote down in my notebook.
I knew as soon as you did, because one or two people laughed and everyone else I got the sense we all grimaced at the screen a little bit, and you immediately went, whoosh.
Scribble, scribble, scribble.
I knew immediately.
That was so funny. That was great. Paul is also very smooth in this film.
Smooth?
Yeah.
Define.
Okay, there's a great scene with Paul and Chani, played by Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya, respectively. And this is the first scene where we're getting them actually properly flirting, and it's really good. Fuck Denis Villeneuve being like, dialogue isn't. No, dialogue helps, especially in a flirtatious scene. We have Paul saying something, he said, I'd very much like to be equal to you, which is just it was just such a smooth, he delivered it in such a smooth way of like, it was like, you I don't know what the context was. It was like, we're not, Chinese saying like something like, we're not exactly
you're
equal.
not Fremen.
Yeah, you're not
you don't
Fremen.
get it, white boy.
Yeah, we're not equal. But he's like, I know we're not equal, but I'd very much like to be equal to you. And it's like, wow. Like Timothée Chalamet, you have my heart pumping at this point. Like, yes, that was very smooth.
It's just like, and now we're going to sandwalk. And he's like, well, when the film book, the movie cartoon said you got to do it like that. And he just stops mid-sentence and she's giving them this withering glance. And he's like, okay, yeah, you tell me how to sandwalk.
Yeah, she's sort of like, you're going to tell me how to sandwalk. Yeah. Which is great. It immediately, definitely watching them back to back, I was like, this is a funny thing.
Yeah.
So to have that be, it's not lampshading because it's done post the original production.
Sure.
So it's like, what would you call that? Come up with a fun name of post lampshading. Be creative on the spot. Go.
See, the funny thing about that pause is that it's really funny, but our editing software is going to shrink that pause. And so I still look like an idiot, but it's not funny anymore.
Yeah.
So that's really unfortunate. I should have said literally anything. Anyway, I'm not doing
lamp
it.
Shading.
Leg lamp shading?
Yeah, like a leg lamp.
Okay.
Like a lamp that looks like a leg.
Remind me to ask you a question about the lamp that's downstairs.
Okay.
After the podcast.
But like a leg lamp?
No.
A lamp that looks like a leg. Have you never seen A Christmas Story?
No.
There's a whole bit of half the film revolves around a leg lamp that looks like a sexy woman's leg.
Where's the bulb go?
At the top of the leg.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like right in the hip joint.
Yeah.
Top of the femur.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyways, that's what I'm calling it. Post lamp shading is leg lamp shading.
Okay, great.
Named after moving your legs around for the sand thing.
Oh, I need to move my legs around.
Sand
so
walk.
Stiff. Can we talk about Paul's characterization really quickly?
Yeah, absolutely.
We're just going to reenact it. What I need you to do is say the prophecy, though.
Okay.
And just keep saying that, and I'll role play as Paul.
Okay, let's go.
I don't want to do. I just want to live my life.
What do you mean you're not the Messiah? What about the prophecy, though?
No, I feel like I can foresee other futures, maybe.
Okay, but we'd like you to come and do the prophecy, though.
Okay, but I don't want to do the prophecy.
Well, what are you going to do instead? There's the prophecy, though.
Okay, but the prophecy ends with the deaths of billions of people.
Yeah, but but what if I don't think that the prophecy is that. So what about the prophecy, though?
Oh, you're right. What about the prophecy? I'm just going to do the prophecy. Let's kill everyone.
Fuck yeah, the prophecy, though. That's it. That's
He
it.
flipped. He full on just went, fine, great.
Yeah.
Which I'm not opposed to.
Yeah.
Because everyone around him is like Stilgar and Jessica
Mm-hmm.
and the name of Josh Brolin's character.
Mm-hmm.
And like Chani is the only one who's telling him like no prophecy.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's just getting everyone telling him prophecy. And eventually he's like, there's no thin line to what I got a prophecy.
Yes.
Which I don't know how I feel.
I
That
liked
would be
it.
my one question
Okay.
about the movie.
There was an interview with Denis Villeneuve recently where he said, I changed Paul's character. I changed Paul's character a bit, and I changed Chani's character
And
a
that
bit.
was the best decision made in this whole series.
Absolutely. But the reason for that was when Frank Herbert wrote Dune, people sympathized with Paul too much. They still thought that he was the hero.
No.
And not an anti-hero.
No.
So that's why he wrote Dune Messiah, was to say, hammer home,
No, this was a jihad where billions of people died.
yes, this is not a positive thing. This is not a hero's tale.
Yeah, no. He's the antithesis of the white savior.
Yeah.
Like the prophecy is made up. Mm-hmm. And it brings itself into being by being believed in.
Mm-hmm. So
That's fascinating. I didn't I didn't know that.
what Villeneuve did was he said, well, this was clearly Frank's original intention. I am going to, tweak this to make that more clear to the viewer, which I think was done to a fantastic degree. Because also, when I read Dune, that didn't fully come across to me. But also, nothing was coming across to me. But that whole, I don't know, that internal conflict, that the whole thing of having the prophecy set up, and him flipping, and I don't know, the ickiness of it all didn't really come across. But so while watching this, I was so disheartened. I was like thrown wildly. After the film ended, I didn't feel good, really.
No.
I felt good because the film was good.
Yeah.
But it was, I don't know, it made me feel gross.
Fascinating.
Especially what does this say? What are the Benny boys? The Benny boys suck. And by Benny boys, I mean the nuns.
The Benny girls.
Yeah, the Benny girls.
Yeah.
But I like to call them the Benny boys because it rhymes. They're
Doesn't rhyme, but that's
absolutely awful. Well, alliteration is a type of rhyme. I can make my own rules.
fine. What about the prophecy, though?
Oh, shit. All right, fine. You make the rules.
Yeah.
I'll go along with them.
Yeah.
Everyone will starve forever.
Thing is, I'm a Benny boy, so I made the rules like 100,000 years ago.
Yeah, they've been making the rules for ages.
Yeah.
And they're terrible. All of them are awful.
Awful. Insidious.
They're really manipulative.
Yeah, real power broker. I mean, everyone's got a little slice of the power. That's how the universe works. But like, they got a big slice of the power is all I'm going to say.
Yeah. I do think that one thing that's, I would just say is interesting is, well, ultimately the Benny Bros have all the power.
Sure.
Like they come out on top here. And they are all women.
Yeah.
And then we have the men.
Yeah.
Like the great houses, or the great houses that we see.
Yeah. All two of them.
And the emperor are all, patriarchal.
Blokey.
So, and they're very like war heavy, power heavy in a physical sense, and not in a manipulative sense that the Benny Bros are. Once again, the Benny Bros are women. That feels like a bit, I don't know, interesting to me that they're like, this is how women, like Frank Herbert wrote it, like
right, like gendered or something.
Yeah, it feels very gendered to me.
Yeah, that's totally fair. I'm gonna go the devil's advocate route and say, like, in a patriarchal society, which Dune completely is, only certain types of agency and power are allowed. Are women allowed to exercise without being like struck down? And they've kind of carved out this place for themselves as like truth sayers and religious figures and like manipulators of bloodlines, and I think it's really cool. Also, they can just say words at you and you have to do them, and that's cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. I don't know how like much it pushes for equality or also like empowers people of all genders to be in all spaces.
In the original books, Paul's like, Johnny, I love you, but I have to marry Princess Florence Pugh for political reasons. And she's like, yeah, that's okay. I'll go along with that and be a concubine. This book.
Oh, okay. They did change it.
And in this one, they changed things around in a way that is less weird in terms of the gendered stuff, I feel.
Yeah. You know,
they could go further, but yeah.
I really like the way that they change it. And Chani's character is fantastic. Florence Pugh, while she is in it a whole lot, it's very good.
Yeah.
All that you before we started this, you're like, there's a lot of new additions, a lot of new characters.
Can I read something to you?
Sure.
This was a review that I wrote, not my first review, but one of the reviews that I wrote when I saw Dune 2021. And I wrote 4 things that part 2 absolutely has to get right. And I won't read you the full list, but I'll just read you like the short notes. Fade Routher's casting. So that's Austin Butler.
Yeah.
So big tick there. I think they got that one right. Chani's characterization. I literally wrote that. Big tick there.
Yeah.
Justifiable omissions. For example, can you keep Hera and can you lose Hera and Fenring? They ditched both of those.
Yeah.
Big tick there. Didn't lose anything to the story. Number 4, Alia. Now, this was Anya Taylor-Joy, so I feel like maybe they fail on this one, but 3 out of 4 ain't bad.
3 out of 4 ain't bad.
3 out of 4 ain't bad.
I have a note here that says Zack Snyder's Dune fight. And that was about halfway through the film. We have Elvis fighting in his birthday arena, fighting these drugged people because it's his birthday and he's the best fighter of the Harkonnens. But you know, he's got to win. Like he's the prince, so he's not going to die. And it's all in black and white. And the only thing I could think of, especially with the big IMAX 4:3 ratio, is Zack Snyder. They brought in Zack Snyder for this.
I feel like that's the best use of Zack Snyder, in small doses directing the villains.
Yeah, that's good. Also, not very impressive.
What?
I wrote, not impressive indeed, in quotes.
That fight? Or the move?
I think the fight. Like, it wasn't, watching him fight wasn't very impressive. Even, like, the people who he was fighting were, like, drugged. But even so, he was fighting, like, 3 people. Like, we've seen people, I don't know, kill 1,000 warriors and then do a barrel roll, you know? You killed 2 drunk people and someone who, I don't know, has been locked in a cell for the past 17 weeks.
Yeah, but you saw how mean he was? He was like, nah, let him fight me, let him hurt me. I'm weird and bald and I'm Austin Butler.
You know,
I'm gonna lick my knife.
He doesn't have to be bald. He wasn't bald in the book. They made him bald.
Yeah. They made them all bald.
That was
apparently
interesting.
He copied Stellan Skarsgård, who plays his uncle.
The accent.
Copied the accent, but apparently didn't tell anyone, didn't tell Stellan Skarsgård, just rocked up on set day 1 and started doing his accent.
You know how he got that?
No?
Got it through Mark.
Jared Leto.
No.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Stellan Skarsgård had to trade it.
I wonder what he thought that was.
He got that for the 2 Thor movies he was in.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, he was like, I'll give this accent that I'm going to do in the future for the 2 Thor movies. Then I'm in the MCU. That's going to help me a lot.
Nah.
And then Stellan was like, fucking yes. And then he traded that Elvis personality away.
Yeah, no one wants that.
Not Stellan. Oh, sorry, Elvis kept his...
Yeah.
Sold his personality to whoever played him in that movie. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Gotcha.
I have another note.
Elvis is alive is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
just checking.
in July.
Yeah.
Big kiss. There was a big kiss. And it was between Stellan Skarsgård and Elvis.
Oh, yes.
Now,
It was a little kiss.
It wasn't a... Elvis grabbed Stellan Skarsgård's face. It was like a little kiss, and then he was like, no, I'm going to make this a big kiss.
Yeah, no, you're right. He did
I'm going to grab my uncle's face and smush it into mine in front of...
Because I'm bald and weird and I lick knives.
All of my army.
Yeah.
The reason why I wrote that in such capital letters in my little notebook is because there is a bit in Dune Part 1 that I didn't write down, but I thought there should be a kiss here. And it was between like 2 men in some sort of setting that was like that. I don't know. It looked like they were going to kiss, or they should, as a show of power. And No, it was just a weird thought that I had.
Okay.
And then it came into fruition in July. And that was fun.
That's fun.
I have a funny note that is Dune/Arrakis, which is just like Nam/Melbourne.
It really is.
That was just a funny thing.
That's really funny.
Okay, I can do my last note and then we can wrap this up.
Okay.
Last note is at one point in this movie there is this lock that can only be unlocked by the four fingers of a royal
Like an Atreides. The
The
genes.
Yeah. So obviously Paul, those are for Paul's fingers. What if you lost a finger? There are knives out the wazoo in this universe. People are getting things chopped off left and right.
Yep.
A finger could be lost very easily.
Yep.
Is it like
Just stick your thumb in. And you just replace it with the other hand. You go like this. You go like this.
you just put another finger of the other?
You put the missing finger of the other one in there.
I don't think that would work.
I think it would work because reading genes, not fingerprints.
Is it reading genes?
That's what they said. How? Don't know, but it's the year 10191.
But you have to put it all in all of the four holes. Yeah. I think that you could put 3 in, like a combination lock where you can do 3 right and just jiggle it a bit and then it'll unlock. I think that's the way, but losing more than one
2 fingers, you're done.
You're fucked.
Once again, I am advocating for more fingers on your hands.
Okay, sorry, I lied. I said one more note. I have one more note. This one is very relevant. Brian, you better shut the fuck up. What do you mean shut the fuck up? I don't need to shut the fuck up. You no.
Brian, please.
Just for the second.
Come on.
This says vom sloshing around the copter. Oh my god, vomit! Oh my god, it's my favorite topic. You know this is my favorite. How could I shut up about this? What do you mean vom? There's a bit where someone throws up in a thopter in July.
Where is this? Was I asleep?
It's near the start, and I can't remember. It might be Jessica or someone. But someone vomits.
Oh, isn't it just aren't they just hanging?
I don't know. It might not be Jessica, but they're in a so I don't know. Someone
they're not in the thopter. They're hanging by the secret pool of water.
Oh, yeah, no, she voms then. But someone voms in a thopter.
Oh, okay.
And then I just imagine all of the weird maneuvers. And Vom gets oh my god, this is my best dream. This is my dream. I jump in front of all the people and I block all the vomit and I get it and I suck it a little bit in my teeth. You vomit yet? No, I haven't vomited yet. Stay in your corner, Brian. Anyways, I just thought that was a funny image. Because sometimes they have to go upside down in the copter and it's just blip, blip, blip. Yes, vomit, blip, 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 blip. Shut the fuck. Sorry. Can we fire? Can you fire? Can you get a new one?
I don't know. Can you keep down those drinks you had? We might have to hold on to Brian just till the end of this episode before we go to bed.
All right, fine. But June Part 2, July, Arrakis July. What was the acronym that I came up with? Anseluk July. Highly recommend. Finish it. Finish it. Read the book maybe afterwards.
Read the book.
I don't know.
Read the first 2 books and then nothing after that.
Yeah, maybe.
If you're halfway through and you're unconvinced, should you finish it?
Halfway. So you've watched June Part 1?
Yeah, correct. If you're halfway through the 6-hour movie,
it gets
they've snuck in
dramatically more conventionally entertaining.
Okay. I feel like I'm definitely going to go and watch Part 2 one more time. Not immediately, but at some point, because maybe I just have a bit of nostalgia for it at this point. But I feel like that invasion of Arrakis that happens in the first one, it's just unmatched for me. And the final duel was good, and the conflict was good. But I don't know, there's something about that final fight just didn't quite hit for me.
They marketed it under the final fight.
It was 11:30 at night. 11:30 going on 2 a.m. So,
it was very late.
Maybe I'm wrong.
And you'd also been in the theater for
so many hours.
It was
16
hours at that point.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's 8 hours a movie.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Too long.
I highly recommend it. Do I have to? I don't think I have to read Dune Messiah because I
think you should.
No. But hear me out.
It's much shorter, significantly shorter.
Hear me out. I understand what Frank Herbert meant with Dune now. So I don't need the justification of Paul isn't great.
Yeah, it gets so weird though. It gets so weird.
Okay, maybe I will. Anyways, that was my finished it. Should we do the next section?
Let's do the next section.
Which is?
I don't know, but it's your job to go first. The next section is Up and Up.
Every time I'm bringing it up, I'm talking about up and up.
Not the theme song.
All right, so coming up, what I'm going to be talking about next week is
Sorry, that's too many.
the TV show
glitched.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Okay.
This is a new TV show that Donald Glover is a part of. It was originally going to be him and Phoebe
Waller-Bridge.
Oh, yeah, that one.
I all thought that I said the wrong one.
I thought I was saying the right one. You need
That
two
terrified
podcast
me.
hosts to make a good podcast. One that's saying the wrong thing, one that's saying the right thing, and they both think they're saying the
Two
wrong
wrongs
thing.
say make a right.
Wait, one's saying it doesn't matter. Someone gets the right information out at
Yeah.
some point, but it's always by accident.
Correct.
This show seems good. I've heard good things. Everyone that I've
Agreed,
talked to
agreed,
about
agreed.
it has said it's good, but they're
What's it about?
what's it about? Well, have you seen the movie Mr. and Mrs. Smith with
No.
Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie?
No.
Okay, well, it's that movie, but if it was a show, and if it was more serious.
Ah.
Yeah, less sexy, because apparently they don't have amazing chemistry. Donald Glover and the other person who's in this, who I can't remember the name of.
I know what their name isn't. Phoebe Bridges.
Or Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
No, it could be that one. I don't know.
No, she's not in it anymore.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
very
That was a
sad.
surprise. That was like, what happened?
was
Creative
like
differences.
Two worlds colliding for a while. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, two people that I absolutely adore the creative minds of. They're coming together and then, nope, didn't happen.
Thanks for describing Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, but tell us about this Smith show.
It's about two sexy spy parents.
Wait a second. This is Spy Kids in disguise.
No, okay, they're not parents, but they are spies, and
Maybe that's what they want you to think.
their mission. Their mission is to like be married, be a married couple, and do their sexy spyness as a married couple. So that's like, it's a buddy cop of
Sure.
here is an unlikely duo that are forced to be in the same situation as they, I don't know, do action. But this seems like it's a bit more, I don't know, has a bit more of an Atlanta to it, a bit more eloquence. Also has the sexiness, obviously. But yeah, once again, some people say it's not as sexy. I don't know. I haven't seen it. But yeah, it's, I don't know, if you're a fan of sexy spies, as I very famously am, like outrageously famously, am a fan of sexy spies. I'm excited for this. Apparently there are great cameos, like that you have some fantastic characters by brilliant actors who are showing up. I think it's like once an episode, someone random will show up.
That's fun.
Yeah, but also, apparently it has some fun tension because, like, if you're stuck with someone that you're married to, I'm not just talking about my marriage, am I right?
You're right, brother.
Yeah, let's go drink a brewski and
Say it, Wickers.
Wicker. No, you got me on it. You always have me. You're gonna make me vomit. Oh, vomit. No, jeez.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry. I'm excited for that show. It should be good. I'll tell you about it next week.
Ooh, can't wait. But actually, authentically, really can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Do you want to tell me what the following up is?
Yeah, my following up is The Marvels. Haven't thought about it. Pretty fun, I reckon.
Yeah.
I don't know. This one is like we're easing into the new system, so it had already been a couple of weeks since I watched it by the time I covered it. So I think I'd already had time to let the thoughts brew.
Yeah.
But what I've also am following up on, that's not how this show works, is Grounded 2, which I watched.
Nice.
It was good. It's like
this means you've finished playing The Last of Us Part 2.
Oh yeah, well you're right. I
remastered.
finished The Last of Us. Yeah. I enjoyed the difference between the first half and the second half because the first half was like, oh yeah, we're building up to like the first trailer and the E3 demo and we've got all these nice ideas and we finished Uncharted 4 and then it was like smash cut to like everything is terrible. It just went like COVID, delays, leaks.
Yeah.
Everything is horrible.
Absolute atrocity from like all places of the, like just people coming at people at Naughty Dog for decisions. But-
awful.
Well, I'm glad you brought to us a thing that was fine and then a thing that was very good. Should we
And I'm
wrap up?
glad you didn't spoil who the leaker was for me because that's a thing that they found out apparently.
Yeah.
Crazy. That freaks me out.
Go watch Grounded 2, or if you don't care, spoil it right now.
What?
Okay, everyone else skip ahead like a...
Oh, just go like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It's just some kid from the Netherlands, some young person in their 20s who was like, once it got delayed, they're like, I just really want this game to come out. And I feel like if I release scenes from the game, Naughty Dog will release the game sooner, which, no, and so
That's not
bad.
how it works.
But the moral, like the thing that they pull at the end of the documentary is like a fairly long monologue from Neil Druckmann just thinking like, and at the end of the day, like if I've learned nothing else from this game and telling this story, it's like you literally do just have to let it go and not nurse that anger. And I was literally in my anger like, oh, you ruined this for so many. And I just went, oh my God, he's right.
Yeah. It works so perfectly. Yeah. Really good reveal.
Really good
reveal. Yeah, brilliant. All right. How do we wrap up this podcast, Rubin?
You say a bunch of stuff.
All right, fine. I'll do it again. 31 times and counting.
Woo!
Thank you to everyone who listened. We love you all.
We do.
We do. Some people, occasionally, people on this podcast, hosts even, may say that we hate all our listeners.
Surely not.
I've heard it straight from the Rubin's mouth.
Lucky that episode got deleted.
But I'd never say that. Anyways, we love you all. Thank you so much. You're all beautiful, beautiful people. If you'd like to help out the show, tell us.
Unless you turn out to be horrible and cancelled, and then
we never knew you.
And then we still really like you, actually.
No!
Yeah.
All right. Would you fucking want to tear down trees or whatever?
Yeah. Back in my villain era. I'm going to lick this knife.
Would like to say, if you want to share the podcast with a friend, that's the best way to help out the podcast.
How does that conversation go? This is like the third week you said this, so I feel obliged to ask the question on behalf of our lovely, lovely listeners whom we love.
Oh.
How do you start that?
I can tell you right now. Oh, hey friend, what have you been up to?
Oh, hey friend, I've just been cruising and grooving.
Have you seen any movies lately?
Well, yeah, I saw that new Dune movie.
Oh, great. You liked it?
Yeah, I think they shouldn't spell it Dunny like that, but I like, other than the title, I really liked it.
Great. Well, you should listen. I was just listening to these two people who generally know nothing about anything, but they are very funny when they talk about they talk about Dune Part 2
they sound like idiots.
On their latest episode of the podcast. Yes, give them a listen. Stinishedit on Spotify.
What? Sorry, what is that word? I didn't hear what you said.
I'll type it out for you. It's on all the podcast platforms that you.
But how do I find it? What is his name?
Stinishedit.
What's Why do they call it that?
STINISHED.
Okay, why would they call it that?
Because they talk about things they've started, they talk about things they've finished, and they smush them together and stinish it.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Actually, these people sound great.
Here's the link. I'm throwing it at your face. Also, once you finish listening, if you're like, I really like these people, you can send them a little bit of mail. Now, we don't have time for mail this week, but we'll do it next week.
Okay, but we have one piece of mail for our listeners. Not a problem. No, we're not doing a full mail section.
Okay.
Just a quick PSA.
Okay.
One of our episodes was absolutely cursed for like 2 weeks, and none of you complained. No one told us. Guys, if the content we're putting out is bad, don't tell us. But if there's an obvious audio issue, tell us, please.
Yeah.
Multiple people downloaded and listened to this episode and didn't mention that there was 2 audio tracks going on. Tell us.
The editor fucked up and accidentally overlaid the podcast bit of us talking over the intro.
We were mortified.
It was horrific.
It was unlistenable, but only for like 25 seconds, but that's all you need.
It's pretty horrific. Anyways, if you want to get into contact with us and complain about how we've screwed over some sort of editing, or tell us how you enjoyed Dune Part 2, let us know. You can email us stinishedit@gmail.com. We'll probably put a little thing in the Spotify question of how you can let us know there how you enjoyed how you enjoyed the Dune Part 2. You can also find us on TikTok and Instagram at stinishedit. Thank you to the lovely, lovely Hetty Moysey for our beautiful podcast art, as always. Is there anything else I need to mention?
Well, they can send in mail, but we'll burn it if it doesn't say stinishedit.
Yeah, send it. Oh, sorry.
Oh, you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Oh, you don't
send in mail to. You can give us physical, but it has to say something.
Oh, I'm getting so excited.
It has to say.
Oh, Jett looks very unwell. They got to do big form.
I can't.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next week. Oh my God, yeah!